Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Tea Time with me, your host, Dreena. And today I have something so delicious for you. I'm excited to share this today, and I know a lot of you have been waiting for this one. So here we are. We are making, first, get your tea and your chocolate. I'm having a nice chai rooibos today, which is really nice and warming on this cold day. And I got my pack of my favorite flavor of midday squares. Even though we're making chocolate, I don't have chocolate ready, right? So I still have to have my snack. And it's so strange. This was not my favorite flavor for a long time. And now it is. Isn't that weird how that happens? So anyways, this is my favorite one. It's got little crispy bits in it. Rude to chew and talk. So get your chocolate, get your tea, because today we are making, and I don't have any finished to show you, so I'm going to show you some photos. And by the way, if you want to pick up midday squares, I love them so much. I am an affiliate. If you link below, you can get 15% off, like forever. It's not for the first time purchase. They changed it. It's forever. So go ahead and link through and you can get 15% off, and they're well worth it, guys. I'm telling you. Okay. So here is a picture. Can you see that? I've really got to figure out the camera. That's not even really showing it well, honestly, but we're going to make them today anyhow. So you can see there. Vegan turtles is what we're making today. And these are whole food, plant-based turtles. I know. Do you guys remember turtles? Do you remember them? I actually did like a bit of a deep dive on turtles. I was like, when did they actually come out? I don't know when they came out, but that commercial, turtles, rah, 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 that was 1979. Oh, my word. I was a wee 9 years old. I can't believe it. Anyhow, I loved turtles growing up. And hello, if you're there, I see some comments coming in and I'm not noticing them. So hello, everyone. Nice to have you. Hello, Leah and Liza and Gail and everyone who's joining. Chime in, say hello to each other. I want you to stay through all the way to the end to see the finished turtles. And because we also have a giveaway to announce and a giveaway to do again today. And today's broadcast, my little broadcast today, is, I should break out my British accent for you one day. It's really not great, but I like to think it is. Yes. Another day. Today's little broadcast is brought to you by my Simply Plants ebook, because next week when I do a video, I'm going to feature one of those recipes, and it's a really warm, delicious, like soul-soothing kind of recipe. I just love it. And I'll show it to you next week. So that is our draw. This week is for the Simply Plants ebook. So after the video is done, I want you to comment on the stream, on the YouTube and Facebook pages, but not, you can still chat now, but comment after so I can draw a winner for next week. And while I'm talking about the comments and things on YouTube, please, if you're on Facebook and YouTube right now, please like the post and subscribe to my page on Facebook, follow my page, and also subscribe to my channel on YouTube. It really helps to get my video more airtime, like more visibility. These algorithms with social media make it really hard for our content to be seen as people who create, like recipe developers and anyone who creates content. It's really difficult for it to be seen. So please like and subscribe, and we're going to get right to it now. Okay. So we are starting with the base for the vegan turtles, which is made out of dates. And I know y'all love dates. Everyone loves dates. It seems to be one of the very few ingredients that I get flack about. I get flack about a lot of ingredients in vegan cooking, and dates has not been one to date. That was not planned. Dates has not been one of those. up until now, to date. I'm sure at one point it will, right? We're always learning things, but for now it's not. So the filling is made with dates. So I have to retrieve from the stove the dates, which I have been steaming. So I'm going to show you my little setup. So the recipe will be on my site probably tomorrow. Isn't this handsome? Woo. Yeah, that's hot, right? So hot. I've had these UV gloves for over a decade and I still love them because they allow your fingers to move. So I'm sticking with it, guys, even as sad as it looks. One day I will get a new pair though. But anyhow, the recipe will be on my site probably tomorrow. So in the description, there's a link to sign up, and that means you get the recipe right to your inbox. You don't have to search for it, okay? So the first thing is the dates need to be softened. Sometimes we buy pitted dates and they're already really soft, but sometimes they're not. Like I bought a big batch from an online store and it was a great price, but they're very dry, like compared to some others I've had. So you really need to steam them. If they're really, really soft, like they're like almost caramel-like, like some really nice medjool dates, then you don't need to. But these are, I may not pronounce this correctly, Deglette dates or Deglette dates. That's the most common pitted date that you find. And mine were really dry. So now they're very soft. So they're steamed for 10 minutes. And they're already pitted, so you don't have to fuss with that. And then this goes right in. I gotta make sure you guys can see my setup here. This goes right into the mini food processor. You can either use this or use a mixer with a paddle attachment. But you need a mixer that has, a good amount of power. I would not use a hand mixer for this. You really need like a strong mixer. So now while I have that hot water, I'm going to melt the chocolate for the top, for the coating. So this is going back on the stove, and I already have my chocolate measured, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. And that's back on the stove to melt. And we're going to get this filling ready. So there's our dates. We need to first season it, and second, make it taste extra delicious. Yes, extra delicious. So we are going to add a touch of, not more than a touch of nut butter. We're going to add a fair amount of nut butter in the dates, and we're going to add a touch in the topping. So I opted for raw cashew butter for the filling because it tastes very buttery. It tastes like how you think a caramel should taste. If you cannot eat cashew, like raw cashew, then I would opt for another raw nut butter. Like this one is raw walnut butter. That's walnut butter. This is the raw cashew butter that I used. And I do have raw almond butter. Let me show you that one too. Here it is. A raw almond butter. And the reason being is I do like a roasted nut butter, but it has its place, right? Sometimes it tastes too roasty, and that's what, it'll still be delicious. I'm sorry. It will still be good. It's not like it won't taste good. But for a more caramel-like flavor, raw, mellow flavor, this is the way to go. Can you guys see that? I think you can. I'll leave it there. So we're putting that into the dates, and don't worry about the measures, guys, because it's going to all be in the recipe, like I said, tomorrow. And then we have to season it. We're adding a little bit of salt because we know that when we add just a little bit of salt, it makes the flavor of sweet things taste better. You're supposed to throw some over your shoulder, right? So I'm going to add more, and now I'll go, there. And then a little bit of, where is it? Vanilla bean powder. If you don't have vanilla bean powder, hey, it's okay. If you don't, you can sub a small amount of vanilla extract. Not too much, because it will, sometimes the vanilla extract, you can taste like that. You can taste the alcohol in it, or the whatever it is in it to preserve it. I think it's alcohol. There are some that are glycerin based. So use it, but a smaller amount than you might think. Here, I'm going to use about a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla bean powder. Can you guys smell it? Smell. Guys, it's so good. It's better than any candle or incense or anything. And I love all that stuff. So, I think I have shared this with you before. It's Wilderness Poets. The link is there. It's one of my very favorite ingredients that they have. But I actually really love their products. It's a small company. They really have really like beautiful values and mission statement, and they work really ethically. And so if you want to look at their site for their products, they have nut butters, nuts and seeds, and they have like superfoods, what you consider superfoods, like goji berries and that kind of thing. Okay, I'm going to puree this. So this is going to be a little noisy. Oh, got to plug it in. How many times have I done that? There we go. I'm not adding liquid because I don't want it to get loose. I don't want the mixture to be, yeah, I'll use that one, to be loose. I want a nice thick kind of caramel. And like I said, you can use other dates, honey dates, any dates you want. Just make sure that you steam them so they're soft. And with the heat from, oh my God, you can smell the vanilla in there. You can smell it, and it's so good. And with the heat from the dates, the nut butter gets pureed in there really quickly. It melts in, there's no issue, and then it's done. This is pretty much done. I'm going to say it's done so I don't spend too much time worrying it. I got to do it one more time. Hang on. Okay. And normally what I do now is I refrigerate this to chill it a little bit so it will firm up just a touch more. And guys, I see some comments and questions coming in. I promise I will do a review of your questions before I sign off. And so normally I would refrigerate this. And there's our little caramel. And I'm checking the chocolate. It's almost done. So what I didn't mention was the chocolate. You can melt the chocolate straight up and have like a firmer coating on your turtles. Or what I love to do is add a little bit of a runny nut butter. Yes, I said runny nut butter, meaning, you know, when you open some cans of nut or jars of nut butter, some are really thick and dense and others have a really nice, smooth, runny consistency like a macadamia nut butter. That's not the one I suggest in the recipe, though. I suggest the pecan nut butter that I love from Nut Jar. And I suggest that one just because it's pecan and the flavor goes really well with the pecans. It tastes like pecan pie. It's amazing. But I ran out because I planned so well. No, I just ran out. And so what I'm adding instead is I'm going to add a little bit of macadamia nut butter. Now look, see this? This is the consistency I'm talking about. Thin, so that it will add a little more viscosity to the chocolate, so that when you bite into it, it's meltier, okay? Because if you think about turtles years ago, it was milk chocolate on them. So it makes it a little bit more like a milky chocolate when you're melting a dark chocolate. So I'm over to the stove to add this little bit of macadamia nut butter. Oh yeah. And this is actually ready. Oh, so yummy. Okay. And then just a tiny, tiny touch more of that in there. Okay. So when I was testing these out, Charlotte was bringing some over to a friend of hers, and they were loving them and not close to vegan. Not at all vegan, but they were just loving them. So here's the chocolate now melted. And see how it's really, really beautifully silky looking. Look at that. Okay, so we're gonna make our turtles now. And I'm gonna let this sit and just cool as I form the caramel and explain a little bit more about the chocolate. Okay, because I have had, so I'm just gonna show you as I'm talking, and the caramel is actually much stickier than I'd like it to be because I haven't refrigerated it. But we're gonna pretend it's refrigerated, and we're just making little tiny balls, about I'd say a half teaspoon. Oh, it's so sticky. I really should have prepped a second batch, but there we are. And then you sandwich 2 pecans on them like this. See this? 1, 2, like that. I'm just gonna lay that down and do a few more. And you can just rinse your hands in between. If it's really sticky, it helps to have a little bit of wet fingers to form the little rounds. It helps a tiny bit. See, even that one was much easier to form because I had just a tiny amount of, not a lot of water, but my hands weren't sticky. There, see? And, okay, so the chocolate. I asked a lot about chocolate because it's not very whole foods plant-based, right? We know that. It's usually when we buy chocolate, it contains sugar and it contains oil often. Here we go. And it depends on the brand of chocolate, the quality of chocolate. If you buy a darker chocolate, it tends to be more, quote, pure, less sweetener in it, less sugar. But I was, a couple of years ago, I was asking about oil-free chocolate somewhere in a Facebook group, and someone pointed me to the direction of this company called Nibble Chocolate. And I actually mentioned it in Dreena's Kind Kitchen. So if you have Dreena's Kind Kitchen, flip to page, where is it? I do have it here. Page 21. Is there any such thing as oil-free chocolate in the questions? There's a company called Nibble Chocolate, and I have the link in the description there for you. They make chocolate with 2 ingredients, cacao beans and like a raw sugar, and that's it. And I'm out of it because I can't get it shipped to Canada right now. I'm asking them about that, but right now I believe it's only shipping in the States. And I used to be able to get over and to our US mailbox so I could ship to there and pick it up in the US. But you know, everything is different. So I don't have any to show you, but I'm telling you it's exquisite. It's delicious. And it's probably the most pure chocolate that you can get. So if you want an oil-free chocolate with lesser processed ingredients, go for that one. Or do a little more search online. The other brand that is really, really beautiful is Taza chocolate. I don't have the link there, but I can add it after. I'm going to get sticky on my face now. And you can also just look in your stores, right? There's a lot of brands out now that are fair trade, non-GMO. And if you look and you see some, information on the labels about the quality of the chocolate, few ingredients, things like that. Look at the label and read the ingredients and you'll find what you're looking for, right? There's so many out now, but I want to bring that to your attention because I'm asked about it all the time. Go to Nibble Chocolate and look. There's a few things there now that are out of stock, which I really want. They have truffles. Oh my gosh, truffles are one of my favorite things. I sometimes make them, but they take a bit of time. And they actually have truffles, which I would love to have for Valentine's just to give to me. And I think that's like one of the best things you can do, right? Gift yourself a little bit of chocolate love. And they look amazing. So go to their site. They're very classic bars are the ones I'm talking about. I'm not sure if the truffles have more added to them. Well, they would because they're not seasoned, they're flavored, but they do use pure ingredients. So I'll leave it at that. You guys can go check it out, and we're going to finish making these turtles. Look at these. Aren't they cute? Look. Okay, so we've got few of those like that. And now all we're going to do is dip them in the chocolate. I think my camera's down way too low. Yep. So we're going to dip them in the chocolate. And all I do is turn it around in the chocolate and then take the little guy out and put it on the tray. Done. Dip it in, coat it around. You could do a couple at a time. Boom, boom. And it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be coated perfectly. It will be delicious no matter what, especially because you made it. And Martha is not coming, right? She hasn't come to my house yet, that's for sure. And I mention her a whole lot. Wouldn't it be funny if she showed up one day? Haha. So there's 4 there. And then you finish it off. You get a little bit of coarse sea salt. Right now, all I have is a grinder, so I'm going to do a little bit in my hand. You get a little bit of coarse sea salt, and you sprinkle on the top, because that is the finisher. Having that touch of sea salt on the top, I'm telling you guys, so amazing. Because the date caramel is really sweet, right? It's very sweet. I'm going to do a couple more. And, oh, it's so sticky. It really needs to refrigerate, but there we are. See, and I just pick it up with the, I'm really freeform. I just take the caramel and poop, pick it up with the, you could put more on if you want. If you love the pecans, you could put 4 on, boom, coat it like that, pop it in the chocolate. My hands are way too sticky. But when my photographer did this, when Angela, and Angela, if you're out there, thank you for the beautiful photos. I do not do my own photography, guys. There's only so much I can do. And photography used to really stress me out. So I leave it to people who are good at it. And she did such beautiful photos, and they all looked so consistent. I thought, wow, you are really talented and have like that finishing touch, right? To make it look especially good. Me, I'm just like, yeah, dip it in, finish it off, get them on the tray. They're going to be yummy. And there we are. I'm going to finish more of them after. I just want to show you what we have right now. And of course, this one needs a little bit more. I just sometimes do this too, just a really small amount over the top. And then we're going to show you these. They're not cooled yet though, right? They aren't cooled. But there we are. That's the turtles. And they are so, so luscious. They're just amazing, luxurious, delicious, wonderful. And you can cool them at room temp, or you can put them in the fridge and cool them. But that's it, right? They're easy. I mean, it's a couple of steps. But they're not hard to make. It's just a couple of steps to work through. And I'm just going to see what questions are here now, and then I'll mention who won from last week. Leah says, I've gotten her hooked on some snacks. I guess I should say sorry or not sorry. I'm not sure. Hello, everyone joining. This is lovely. Oh, Kathy, yes, the code for 15% off for Midday Squares is my name, Dreena Burton, together. And I think I have that in the description. If that code doesn't work, maybe it's just my first name. I'm not sure. I think it's in the description. I don't remember fully, sorry. But go through, use my name, either to first and second or just first, and you'll get it. And thank you, Leah. Yes, please do share the video after too. That would be really appreciated. Share it to your page or groups that you're in, and share it for people to enjoy. And definitely subscribe and like on YouTube. It's hard to get the videos some action there. And oh, hi, Savannah, and welcome to my channel. First time here. Jane's asking what blender I use. Okay, so this is a Breville. I used to always call it a Breville until my Australian friends told me it was called Breville. So now I know. I always called it Breville. I still do, really. It's the Breville immersion blender, and then it has that attachment for the mini processor. So this is actually an immersion blender, which I use quite often. I've had this one maybe 5-6 years now. It's kept well, I have to say. I used to have one, and I won't name the brand, that the base, let me just show you guys. Where is it? This is real cooking, guys. Hang on. I really want to show this to you. Where is my stick? There we go. Bear with me. Look at the base of this. See how it's one piece? Okay, I used to have one where there was a plate, and once I saw it was getting a little grungy around the plate. If you have one of these, check it. And I lifted the plate up with a butter knife. There was so much gunk under it. It was really nauseating. Like there was all this gunk collected. And I thought that's really gross because I'm pureeing it. And maybe it's staying in there, but I don't know. So I really like that this one has a solid plate so nothing gets in underneath, right? So Breville is the brand. I do have a link for Breville in the description because I anticipated that question would come up. It's to their website, but you might find a better price on Amazon. I don't know. And seeing if there's any other questions. Yeah, Lee, I'm going to ask Nibble about shipping to Canada because it is honestly a very unique, special chocolate brand. And I'm not saying they're the only one out there, but it's the brand that I know of right now. And yeah, Leah, it was gross. So everyone's going to go check their immersion blender now, right? And see what's going on. Ugh, it was really gross. So now I get to enjoy these soon. I am going to finish the rest of them and give you guys one more looky-loo. One more looky-loo at the turtles. I'm always going in the wrong direction. There. And the photos that Angela did are much nicer than what I captured. Let's see if I can show you another finished one. But like I said, the recipe will come to your inbox tomorrow. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Look at how beautiful she made those little guys. Isn't that something? I know. So when they're cooled, that's how the chocolate looks, and cut into them, and they're just absolutely phenomenal. So that's that. And now we will announce the winner from last week, the person who won Dreena's Kind Kitchen. One of these days I will get it. It's like it's the opposite, so it's very disorienting. Dreena's Kind Kitchen is Iris Kohler. I think I pronounced your name correctly. And I hearted your comment on the last video. So now I will go back and give you my email address so you can email me with your mailing information and we'll get a copy of the book out to you. And then to enter Twin Simply Plants for next week, comment after the video is done. And I appreciate all of your comments in the chat. I love seeing everyone join in and say hello to each other. But after the video is done, comment on YouTube or on Facebook, and that way I can draw a winner from there. Okay, and that is it. I hope you enjoy this recipe when it comes to your inbox. And thanks for joining, and I'll follow up with any comments a little later, okay? Have a really great week, guys. See you.